Trump's lawyers are desperately fighting to keep special counsel Jack Smith's final report permanently sealed, and sources suggest what's hidden in those pages might force resignation. We're not talking about typical political scandal or partisan disagreement. We're talking about reports that Jack Smith told Congress he had proof beyond reasonable doubt.
We have this document that's just been released by the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida. It's entitled Superseding Indictment. The grand jury charges and lists all the charges. And it says this is a case involving the United States of America versus Donald J. Trump, Walt Nauta, and Carlos de Oliveira. So it's a significant development indeed, and there's a lot of information in this document.
Trump committed serious felonies under Espionage Act regarding classified documents. That Trump facing between 37 and 40 felony counts related to highly sensitive national security files stored at Mar-a-Lago, including nuclear documents and military plans. That FBI found boxes sitting in bathrooms next to pool equipment at beach resort where foreign nationals tried gaining access. That superseding indictment charged Trump with attempting to delete surveillance footage after it was subpoenaed. And what might make this existential threat rather than another scandal Trump survives is how hard his team is fighting to bury evidence. Sources suggest in December 2025, Trump's lawyers urged Judge Aileen Cannon to keep special counsel reports sealed permanently. Justice Department calling effort to hide findings, throwing into dustbin of history. Reports indicate if Trump did nothing wrong, if this was witch hunt he claims, why fight so desperately to prevent American people from seeing what Jack Smith found? When former president faces Espionage Act, charges for hoarding nation's most sensitive secrets, when special counsel says evidence sufficient for conviction, when administration scrambling to bury report rather than defend conduct on merits, that's not innocent person wrongly accused. That could be guilty person watching walls close in as classified document scandal creates corrosive political damage that never goes away regardless of how hard they try hiding truth. But before we break down what Jack Smith's sealed report likely contains and why Trump's fight to hide it reveals consciousness of guilt, real quick. You cannot trust mainstream media to explain how classified document scandal represents different kind of threat than typical Washington drama. That's why we built John Brown Show to bring you real stories, real context, and no corporate spin. If you want analysis showing why this scandal might actually force resignation where others failed, hit that subscribe button right now. All right, let's understand what makes classified documents different from every other Trump scandal and why sources suggest this could actually end presidency. Because think about what we're dealing with. Trump charged under Espionage Act, the law used to prosecute spies who sell secrets to foreign governments. Reports indicate documents so classified that even describing what categories they fall into is itself classified. The kind of material that, if compromised, could reveal intelligence sources and methods, could expose what we know about foreign adversaries, could literally get people killed. And storage was insane. Boxes in bathroom, boxes next to pool equipment at Mar-a-Lago, which isn't secure facility, just beach resort where anyone paying membership fees could theoretically access them. Sources suggest FBI didn't show up on whim. They asked nicely for documents back. Trump's lawyers claimed they returned everything. Then turned out they hadn't. Then there was subpoena. Then evidence documents were being moved and hidden. Finally, FBI executed search warrant finding way more classified material than expected. Jack Smith put together a comprehensive report laying out all evidence, all conclusions, told Congress they had proof beyond reasonable doubt sufficient to convict. Reports indicate that report exists as real document containing devastating information. But Trump's team fighting tooth and nail, ensuring nobody ever sees it. When you combine Espionage Act charges with compromised nuclear secrets, with obstruction evidence, with special counsel saying case was winnable, with desperate fight to permanently seal findings, pattern emerges showing this isn't scandal. Trump can spin away because it touches things even his supporters care about, including national security and keeping secrets safe. Let's start with understanding specific documents at issue because sources suggest this explains why scandal is so serious. Trump charged with 37 to 40 felony counts related to highly sensitive national security files found stored at his properties after leaving office. Reports indicate not talking about old memos or boring bureaucratic paperwork, talking about documents so classified that even their existence is sensitive. The kind of material that could compromise intelligence sources if exposed, could reveal what we know about foreign adversaries, could endanger American lives. Think about what was actually found. Sources suggest FBI discovered boxes just sitting in bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. Boxes in storage room next to pool equipment. This isn't secure facility. This isn't CF where classified material is supposed to be stored. Reports indicate just random rooms at beach resort where members pay fees for access. Foreign nationals have been caught attempting to breach security there. Whatever security private club maintains is nothing compared to protections used for nuclear secrets. And yes, nuclear secrets were involved according to reporting. Some documents related to nuclear capabilities, which represents about as serious as classified information gets. And there's process leading to FBI search. Sources suggest they asked nicely first. Trump's lawyers said they returned everything. Then evidence emerged showing they hadn't returned everything. Reports indicate there was subpoena. Then evidence documents were being moved around and hidden. Finally, FBI executed search warrant and found substantially more classified material than anyone expected. That progression from cooperation to obstruction is significant because it shows consciousness of guilt, shows Trump knew he shouldn't have documents and actively worked to keep them rather than returning them when discovered. Think about superseding indictment details. Sources suggest Trump team not just possessed classified documents, but allegedly attempted to delete surveillance footage after it was subpoenaed. That's not innocent mistake. Reports indicate that's active obstruction of justice, deliberately destroying evidence knowing it was subject to legal process. When prosecutors can show you didn't just have documents you shouldn't have, but also tried destroying evidence of that fact, conviction becomes much more likely because it demonstrates guilty knowledge and intent to conceal. But step back and consider fight over Jack Smith's final report, because sources suggest this reveals what Trump fears most. Special counsel completed comprehensive report laying out everything his team found, including all evidence and all conclusions. He told Congress they had proof beyond reasonable doubt in this case. Reports indicate that's the standard needed to convict someone in criminal trial. That's prosecutors saying we could have won this case if it had gone to trial. And that report exists as real document containing all this information. Think about Trump's response. Sources suggest in December 2025, his lawyers went to Judge Aileen Cannon, same judge who's been incredibly favorable to Trump throughout this process, and urged her to keep report sealed permanently. Justice Department under Trump describing effort as throwing into dustbin of history. Reports indicate they want to pretend this never happened, want to memory hole one of most serious breaches of national security by sitting or former president in American history. And you have to ask why. If Trump did nothing wrong, if this was all witch hunt like he keeps claiming, then why not let report come out? Why not let American people see for themselves that he was innocent? And there's what desperate concealment reveals. Sources suggest fact they're fighting so hard to bury report tells you everything about what it probably contains. Reports indicate if findings exonerated Trump, if evidence was weak, if case was overreach, they'd be demanding reports released to vindicate him publicly, but instead, they're doing opposite, fighting to ensure nobody ever sees what Jack Smith concluded. That behavior only makes sense if report contains devastating evidence that would destroy Trump's claims of innocence and potentially force political reckoning even his supporters couldn't ignore. Share this video with everyone you know because there's comparison to how others treated. Sources suggest regular government employees, military personnel, intelligence officers get prosecuted and sent to prison for taking home tiny fraction of what Trump had. Navy sailor took photos inside submarine and got year in federal prison. Reports indicate Air National Guard member who leaked documents online facing decades behind bars. Yet former president who had boxes full of most sensitive secrets in country just walking around free and running government again. That double standard is impossible to ignore. Makes mockery of idea we're nation of laws where everyone treated equally. Breeds cynicism about whether justice system means anything when it comes to powerful people. But let's examine why this scandal represents different threat than others Trump survived, because sources suggest it creates corrosive damage that compounds over time. Even if Trump never faces jury over these documents, scandal itself eats away at credibility every single day. Reports indicate gives opponents ammunition, makes allies nervous, raises questions about whether foreign governments can trust United States to keep secrets when our own president apparently cannot be trusted to handle classified material properly. Think about intelligence partnership implications. Sources suggest British intelligence, Israeli intelligence, all partners who share sensitive information with us have to be wondering whether anything they tell us ends up in box next to pool supplies at some resort. That uncertainty has real consequences for national security cooperation and for America's standing in world. Reports indicate every time Trump tries talking tough on national security, every time he criticizes someone else for being careless with sensitive information, there's elephant in room where everyone thinking, yeah, but what about those boxes at Mar-a-Lago? That undermines his authority in ways that are hard to measure, but very real. And there's cumulative effect of ongoing revelations. Sources suggest sealed report going to keep being source of drama because even if it stays sealed for now, there are members of Congress who want to see it, journalists investigating it, potential leakers who know what's in it. History shows in Washington, nothing stays secret forever. Reports indicate eventually these things come out whether through official channels or unofficial ones. And when more details emerge, it's going to be whole new news cycle, whole new round of outrage, whole new reminder of what Trump allegedly did with country's most sensitive secrets. Share this with everyone because there's polling showing vulnerability. Sources suggest majority of Americans think Trump mishandled these documents. Even a lot of Republicans uncomfortable with how this whole thing went down. Reports indicate while base remains loyal, independents and swing voters who decide elections are much more skeptical. That skepticism isn't going away because every few months, there's another story, another leak, another revelation, another court filing reminding everyone this happened and there was never really any accountability for it. So here's what resignation threat reveals. Trump's lawyers desperately fighting to keep special counsel Jack Smith's final report permanently sealed after he told Congress proof beyond reasonable doubt exists for felony convictions. Trump faced 37 to 40 Espionage Act charges related to highly sensitive national security files, including nuclear documents stored in bathrooms and next to pool equipment at Mar-a-Lago Beach Resort. FBI found way more classified material than expected after Trump's lawyers claimed everything returned. Superseding indictment charged Trump team with attempting to delete surveillance footage after subpoena. Sources suggest Trump's December 2025 effort through Judge Cannon to permanently seal report with Justice Department calling it throwing into dustbin of history reveals what they fear. If Trump innocent, why fight so desperately to prevent Americans from seeing evidence? Majority of Americans think Trump mishandled documents with even Republicans uncomfortable. Intelligence partners questioning whether to trust U.S. with secrets when president hoarded nuclear documents at resort. Regular government employees get years in prison for fraction of what Trump possessed, showing double standard, destroying faith in equal justice. Reports indicate scandal creates corrosive damage that compounds over time as more details inevitably leak regardless of sealing efforts. When former president faces Espionage Act charges for compromising nation's most sensitive secrets, when special counsel says evidence sufficient for conviction, when administration fighting to permanently hide findings rather than defend on merits, when foreign allies questioning intelligence cooperation, when polling shows vulnerability even with Republican voters, that's not scandal that fades. That could be existential threat forcing resignation as political damage from classified documents becomes too heavy to carry, even for someone who survived everything else, because this one touches national security concerns even supporters care about regardless of partisan loyalty. Stay tuned.